Good afternoon, Chennai. Everybody can hear me? All right. So I'm Niraj Jaipuria. I head this company called BIRetail. Uh, Very briefly, we do BI for retail. So we help retailers make sense of their data. We help retailers get more out of their data analytics journey. Uh, Quick show of hands. How many in this audience are retailers? Okay, that's good to know. Now, I've spent about 16 years of my life working with retailers only in the space of helping them make sense of data. And I hear this every day, as recent as yesterday. They feel that the amount of time and money and effort they spent in analytics is not giving them the returns that it should. So again, quick show of hands here. Uh, how many here believe that the time and money they're spending on analytics in their business right now is not giving them proportionate returns? And when I'm saying analytics, don't think of any big BI tool. Even if you're doing reporting and analytics on Excel, that qualifies for analytics. So how many here think that they're not getting returns from their BI investment? Okay, I think I should get off the stage because everybody knows what to do. But since I'm here, let me just spend some time, I have 5 minutes, uh, explaining to you what I've learned from the industry, working with hundreds of retailers over time. Uh, First thing that I like to share as tips and tricks is that we all have to understand analytics is a journey. And we've segmented this journey into 4 stages. We call it reactive, predictive, prescriptive, transactive. The next 5 minutes, I'm just going to quickly run you through each of these 4 steps. Now, the easiest part to understand is reactive. Reactive is the art and the science of looking at data of yesterday and reacting to it, and therefore reactive analytics, right? We all do reactive analytics. We are all looking at Excel sheets or whichever BI tool we use and trying to make sense of that. So I'm going to present 2 or 3 common flaws that I see in reactive analytics that retailers make. To get the perspective right, and out of multiple iterations, we have segmented reactive analytics as a 3-step process. First, you need to know what is doing well and what is not doing well. That is what we call discovery. Once you know what is not doing well, the next step is to figure out why it's not doing well, what is the problem, and that is what we call root cause analysis. And finally, when you discover what was the cause of the problem, you need to decide to take some action, and that's what we call inferencing. So it's as simple as that, but what I've seen a lot of retailers mess up is they merge this state of discovery and root cause analysis. I've worked with retailers who have Excel sheets running hundreds of columns and maybe 500 rows or 1,000 rows down, and they're looking at 5 million cells. Now, who's the genius in this room who can actually make sense of so much data at the same time? So this is a classic scenario all of us would be familiar with. An Excel sheet with whole tons of data. Now, what we're saying is a very simple philosophy. You need to segregate discovery and root cause. And how do you do that? Very simply. Start with a top-down approach. Work with dashboards like this, right? This has 10, 15 KPIs that matter to you. Whatever your role in the organization is, have a personalized dashboard for your role. And start with this. Here, you're not flooding your mind with 5 million rows. You're looking at 10, 15 KPIs. The regular red, amber, green kind of color thresholding helps you identify what's right, what's wrong. And whatever is wrong, you start a journey of, or a workflow of click and drill and getting down to the root cause analysis. So I'm not going to spend time on that, but essentially, I can look at any one of these KPIs, click on it, get down to the next level of breakdown, and so on, and finally get to the root cause analysis. What I'd rather spend time on is the inferencing part, right? So again, I'll take this with an example. Let's look at a report, something like this. It doesn't matter if you can't read the font and the text. Essentially, we have, let's say you're trying to figure out which of your SKUs in which of your stores have a low sell-through, right? So for sell-through, you look at sales data, you look at stock data. Some of your categories or SKUs may have high sales, low stock. Some of them may have low sales, low stock, and so on. How does a person read a report like that? Typically, we start top down and left to right. So you can look at the first row, for example, and say, OK, this category seems to be doing enough sales, but not having enough stock. The other could be that you have people doing not enough sales, but too much of stock. Based on each of these conditions, you are going to, in your mind, create some inferencing, saying, OK, if I have less sales, too much stock, I'm going to pull it out. If I have a lot of sales but not enough stock, I need to replenish more, increase the base stock. Now, this is the micro-inferencing that we do in the mind. If you look at a report like this, you would typically spend 20 to 30 minutes to accomplish a 50-row report of this nature. What we say is automate this process of inferencing. That is what some people like us at BIRetail do. We bring in the action column into your report so that that 20 minutes gets reduced to about 2 minutes, and you work more on the action part, right? So very quickly, I know my time is up. I'll just take 2 more minutes very quickly. Predictive, I'm oversimplifying it, but predictive analytics is carrying this micro-inferencing rules to determine what's going to happen tomorrow. So if I'm selling 1 piece a day in a store of an SKU, and I have 20 pieces in stock, logic tells me that I have about 20 days worth of stock, right? Is this predictive? Yes, actually, this is the starting point of basic predictive analytics, being able to say that in 20 days, the stock is going to run out. Of course, retail is a little more complicated, and therefore, you need to bring in data science algorithms to get your accuracy more higher. But you begin with that. Now, once you've got predictive, predictive tells you what may happen, what is going to happen. On the other hand, prescriptive. Prescriptive tells you what to do when an eventuality of this nature is about to happen, right? So this uses a fair bit of decision trees and algorithms of that nature to come up with more directed, objective-driven list of actions to be carried out without much of thought going into it. Because in the end, your business is not going to improve by looking at dashboards and reports. Your business is going to improve when action gets carried out. That matters. And those actions have to be determined by data-driven facts, whether you look at reactive or you look at predictive or prescriptive. We have something called transactive analytics, which is more of a proprietary tool that helps to initiate the action from the same screen where the prescription is provided. Again, it's a very short time I have, so unfortunately, I'm going to run through all of this. But I'm available offline to talk to all of you guys. Anybody who has a question, you can WhatsApp us, you can write to us, or I'm available offline. We can talk. Thank you so much.